Good evening. I'm Stacey Amos for News Channel 8, and these are the top stories that we have for you tonight. VIPD arrests suspects in connection with the recent murder. A teacher receives special recognition, and Dominica is topping the news in the Caribbean Report. Those stories and more are up next for you on News Channel 8. Breaking news tonight, a sad story to report. Unfortunately, we were just handed this. Police are investigating a suicide of a woman on St. Thomas. Here's the story. A 25-year-old female was discovered at about 8:15 p.m. Wednesday, March 21st, in an apartment on Conprinsensgata. Police said a concerned family member asked for assistance in making contact with the victim. Officers went to the apartment and were allowed access by the landlord. The victim was discovered unresponsive inside the apartment, and emergency medical technicians arrived on the scene, and the victim was then pronounced dead by medical personnel. News Channel 8 family sends out our hearts and condolences to the family and friends of that female. In other news, VIPD also arrested 5 suspects on firearm charges as part of an ongoing investigation into the shooting death of 24-year-old Nemesio Camacho. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story.
Thank you very much, Stacy. We're staying now to the bottom of the hill in Bon Esperance. You might remember that it was February 27th that 24-year-old Nemesio Camacho III was shot in a hail of bullets on the top of that hill that the camera's pointing to. News Channel 8 was here moments after. Apparently, Nemesio's friend frantically ran down this hill, a young lady, all the way past this area by Schuster's Water, all the way past here and ran down towards Barron Spot, where the camera is panning around that corner. We all know this area well, near the Barron Spot Mall. That's what she fell into someone's arms saying, "Please, my God, help me. My friend has been shot in the head." To no avail, 24-year-old Nemesio Camacho III died 2 days later of that head injury. Well, now, today at 6:30 in the morning, the VIPD wants to announce that they have 5 people in custody, 3 adults and 2 minors, as the VIPD served early morning search warrants in the Barron Spot area. Wait till you see the weapons that they confiscated. At least 2 handguns, looks to be there a sawed-off shotgun, and a large number of ammunition from a second residence. Now we go to Melody Rames, Virgin Island Police Department spokesperson.
Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives on St. Croix executed search and arrest warrants at about 6:30 a.m. on Thursday, March 22nd, in a state Barron Spot. The warrants are part of an ongoing investigation into the shooting death of 24-year-old Nemesio Camacho III. Camacho was shot on February 27th and died on February 29th. During the execution of the search and arrest warrants, police arrested 3 adults and 2 minors. The suspects were all charged with possession of unlicensed firearms. Detectives said the investigation into Camacho's death is continuing. The early morning searches and arrests took place at 3 residences in a state Barron Spot. Police confiscated 2 handguns from 1 residence and a shotgun and a large number of ammunition from a second residence. Nothing was confiscated from the 3rd residence. Arrested were Jamal Desir, also known as Dog, and Travis R. Mills, also known as Babs. They are both 26 years old. Also arrested was Kente Matthew, age 27, and 2 17-year-old male minors. The adults were all held on a $25,000 bail each and remanded to the custody of the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility, pending further court action. The 2 minors were remanded to the custody of the Youth Rehabilitation Center, pending their court appearance.
Thank you, Melody. Like Miss Rames said, nothing was confiscated from that 3rd residence. Let me take you through the suspects again as we show their pictures. Jamal Desir, also known as Dog. Travis R. Mills, also known as Babs. And 26-year-old Kente Matthew, 27 years old. Also, two 17-year-old male minors can't show their pictures yet. $25,000 bail each. All remanded to the custody of Golden Grove, pending further court action. The two minors go to Youth Rehabilitation Center, pending their court appearance. Folks, it's not over yet. Territory still needs your help to solve these unsolved murders. 911, 1-800-222-TIPS is Crime Stoppers. Please, if you see something, say something. I want to remind you, all those suspects I just mentioned, all innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Now the family of 24-year-old Nemesio Camacho III can get a step closer to closure. Here in Bon Esperance, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
As Wes mentioned, it is truly important that if you know something, please say something. In other news, Vitran is making big changes to their weekly schedule that you need to know about. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the details.
What in the world are we looking at, Stacy? Millions of people, including YouTubers, are saying, what is Channel 8 showing? Is it a puzzle? As the cameraman zooms out, we're at Sunny Isle Shopping Center. That, folks, is a Vitran sign. Yeah, a Vitran sign. I'm here now with Miss Forbes, and she is a Vitran's passenger daily. And Miss Forbes, you have something to say about their service, and then I'm going to tell you what I've learned from my background information. How are you doing today?
Oh, I feel pretty good, Wes. Thank you for asking.
How long have you been taking Vitrans?
Oh, for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
Over 3 or 4 years.
What are the positive things about Vitrans? Let's start off with that.
No, the positive things, they run a little late sometimes.
The positive things are that they run late sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Most of the workers, they're good people and everything, but I am disappointed with the service that they're going to no longer run on the weekends.
All right, let me tell you what's going on, Ms. Forbes, because it took me a little time to do some research this morning, but I was happy to serve the community. That's my job. Finally, I want to thank Mr. Monsanto from Public Works under Darrell Smalls, the Commissioner of Public Works in St. Thomas. After 5 or 6 phone calls and transferences, you know, Sundays has been stopped now for about a year.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Well, we have some bad news for you folks tonight. You Vitrans passengers, doesn't look like you're going to be having Saturday service any longer, and that I have that information coming from Mr. Monsanto. You know, again, with budget cutbacks and so forth, they feel this is the best way, or they would have to literally lay off some of their employees. Now, the cutbacks are going to happen, but folks who need medical appointments and you regularly use the ADA buses, I don't think you'll be affected. But it doesn't look good for the Saturday service. It's only to be put out in writing, and that's going to come out pretty soon. So I'm sorry to tell you that. So you work in the area and you depend on Vitrans
every
on
day.
Saturdays, don't
Even
you?
on Saturdays, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's when carpooling has to come up, and that is when we have to start loving each other, and because gas is on the rise. Maybe some of your employees could, you know, help y'all out, and y'all have a little pool, or your neighbors can help you out, or family members. There's a lot of Miss Forbes out there tonight. A lot of Vitrans passengers are going to be stranded now, because I could think of some of the good things about Vitrans, that they take you to areas that the taxi buses don't.
Exactly.
Also, it's a little cheaper than that. I have had complaints a lot from, you know, Sonny about the wheelchair lift. That's an ongoing court case, as a matter of fact. Folks, easy does it. That's all I could say. Tempers are flaring. Miss Forbes, I know you're going to be in some type of discomfort, but this is when love comes in. This is when neighbors have to help neighbors. With Mrs. Forbes, I hope someone out there loves Mrs. Forbes and gets her to work this weekend when Vitrans can't. At Sunny Isle with Mrs. Forbes, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And the Multiple Sclerosis Society has some important upcoming events to share with you.
Hi, this is Ella Jean, and I am with the St. Croix Multiple Sclerosis Support Group. I just want to let everyone know that our monthly meeting is scheduled for this Monday, March 26th. It will be at the AARP office in Sunny Isle, and we meet at 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and we are there to support those who support us and who also support others who have MS. The need for support is extremely important, not just for the person with MS, but also for the family and the friends of those persons who are diagnosed with MS. I'd also like to advise the general public of another event that will be taking place on Friday, March 30th in Sunny Isle at the theater. And this will be a disabilities awareness fair, letting all persons with disabilities know of the resources and the support that's out there. Come one, come all, you're all invited. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thanks to Earl Morris for providing us with that footage. Cruising in Dominica has made the news recently. We'll have more in your Caribbean report when we come back. Dominica arrests a couple of cruise passengers, and Stanford blames Twitter and wants a new trial. Those stories and more are up next for you in your Caribbean report.
From Dominica, 2 California men on a gay Caribbean cruise were arrested Wednesday where sex between 2 men is illegal. Police Constable John George said police boarded the cruise ship and arrested the 2 men on suspicion of indecent exposure. George said the men were seen having sex on the Celebrity Summit cruise ship by someone on the dock, and the 2 were later charged with indecent exposure and are scheduled to appear before a magistrate Thursday morning. If found guilty, they could be fined $370 each and face up to 6 months in jail. The ship, carrying about 2,000 passengers, departed Puerto Rico on Saturday, had arrived in Dominica on Wednesday, and it has now gone on to St. Bart's without the men, who are being held in a cell at police headquarters in the capital of Rosé. From Antigua, convicted schemer Alan Stanford wants a new trial and has blamed inadequate preparation opportunity and media tweets from the courtroom for his guilty verdict. His attorney, Ali Fazal, filed a 71-page document earlier this week with the U.S. District Court in Houston purporting that Stanford's Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial was tarnished. Fazal said he and colleague Robert Scardino were unable to adequately prepare for the trial's overwhelming amount of paperwork since they were retained in October 2010. He also factored in the effects of the public media circus created long before the trial had even begun. Stanford is scheduled to be sentenced on June 14th. From Tobago, Stephen Scott, bar manager, and Carlina Permel, bartender at the Magdalena Grand Beach Resort, took first and third place, respectively, at the Ketel One Diageo World Class Mixology Competition. Scott, the winner of the Ketel One Heat of the Diageo Reserved World Class Competition, will go on to compete against the winner of the Johnny Walker Blue Label Heat and the winner of the Ron Zacapa Centenario Heat, to be held in June, for participation in the Diageo Reserved World Class Bartender of the Year final. The Diageo Reserve World Class competition is aimed to inspire, educate, and increase awareness to bartenders about Reserve brands in a culmination of a 3-wave competition. And from St. Kitts, the 2012 Alabama Relays will feature 4 of the world's top 100-meter sprinters, in addition to the outstanding collegiate track and field athletes entered for this weekend's meet. The men's field will feature 4-time Olympian and 2003 world champion Kim Collins, a native of St. Kitts and Nevis. He is beginning his push to qualify for the 2012 Summer Olympics after earning a bronze medal at last summer's World Championship. That bronze medal was his 4th and 2nd in the 100 meters, having also accomplished the feat in 2005. Collins competed collegiately at TCU under current University of Alabama head coach Dan Waters.
An update to that Dominica story, those cruisers have pleaded guilty to indecent exposure. Now, a Spanish teacher at Charlotte Amalie High School received special recognition today. News Channel 8 has the story. The St. Thomas St. John chapter of the BI Modern Foreign Language Association and St. Thomas St. John District Foreign Language Program are announcing the selection of Ms. Sherry Marcia Hodge as Foreign Language Teacher of the Year. Hodge, a Spanish teacher at Charlotte Amalie High School, is the fifth recipient of this coveted award, which recognizes excellence in the field of foreign language education. Hodge has been teaching for 10 years, starting out as a public school teacher in her native Anguilla, and she's been teaching Spanish in the territory since 2008. While speaking about her passion for teaching, Hodge said she believes that, quote, language and culture are undeniably interconnected as they both improve students' cognitive, linguistic, and communicative skills, as well as their intellectual capacity. Hodge's first language is English, but she also speaks Spanish and French. Hodge has said that her own experiences in learning multiple languages help her identify with some of the issues her students face throughout the year. The VI Board of Education certified Spanish and French secondary educator, Ms. Hodge earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of the West Indies, where she majored in Spanish and minored in French. She continues to sharpen her skills through participation in various district-sponsored workshops and in-service sessions, along with international immersion programs. She is currently working on her master's degree, where her focus is on the teaching of English as a second language. She was nominated and unanimously approved as Foreign Language Teacher of the Year by VI Modern Foreign Language Association board members and district judges. Ms. Hodge will be officially presented with the award during a dinner ceremony scheduled for May 19th. We congratulate Sherry Marie Hodge and all she does. And speaking of congrats, we send a special shout out to Neil Canton and his staff at the Boys and Girls Club for being voted the best after-school activities and social service outreach program by VI Daily News readers. Great going. It's Kitty Cricket in Sports 411 when we come back. The West Indies makes a change before the next match with Australia. Here's your Sports 411.
From St. Vincent, Adrian Barath has been chosen to replace fellow opener Kieran Powell in the West Indies' 13-member squad for the last two Digicel one-day internationals against Australia in St. Lucia this weekend. Additionally, Chris Gayle appears set to miss all of Australia's tour of the Caribbean after a meeting with West Indies Cricket Board officials failed to bring about a positive resolution. Gayle had reportedly been set to end his feud with the board, which has kept the explosive batsman out of international cricket since last year's World Cup. The 32-year-old wasn't named in the squad on Wednesday by West Indies selectors for the final two-day internationals against Australia, taking place in St. Lucia, and it appears he will remain on the outer for the rest of the tour, with another meeting unlikely to take place. The fourth match of the series against Australia, which is locked at 1-1 after Tuesday's third match ended in a tie, will be played at the Bassajor Stadium in St. Lucia on Friday. Cricket matches between West Indies and Australia have been known for their competitiveness over the years, and this was one of the biggest lessons that Scotiabank Kitty cricketers learned last Friday. Over 80 excited youngsters took to the field at the Arnos Vale Cricket Ground during the interval of the first Digicel one-day international to give spectators a glimpse of the future of the game on the idyllic Isles of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Carl Dixon, Scotiabank's assistant manager of small business in St. Vincent, said the banking institution was committed to growing the sport to build a foundation for future West Indies success. The next Scotiabank Kitty Cricket demonstration is scheduled for the fourth Digicel one-day international this Friday, March 23rd in St. Lucia.